Let's rewind to 1989, the year The Simpsons hit prime time. The Game Boy debuted,
Game Boy, only from Nintendo.
and Tim Burton's Batman ruled the box office. But amid the pop culture highs, a shocking crime in Beverly Hills changed the way America watched true crime forever.
Eric and I killed our parents together, so I'd say that makes us pretty close.
Two brothers, a brutal double murder, and a courtroom saga that turned family tragedy into national spectacle.
They just knew that, okay, we got these rich kids, boom, shot their parents, now they think they're multimillionaires. Well, that's not the case.
Before any of that, behind the manicured lawns and private school perfection, the Menendez home was already unraveling. Before the trial, the Menendez family was defined by image and pressure. Jose, an ambitious Cuban immigrant turned executive, demanded achievement while Kitty tried to keep everything composed. The boys enjoyed private schools, elite tennis lessons, and a move from a New Jersey estate to a California mansion. Beneath the surface, trouble simmered, struggles with school, burglaries, and frequent threats of disinheritance. A deleted will copy on Jose's computer hinted at financial anxiety. Eric recalled growing up with fear and rigid control. Lyle later compared the chaos of prison to the chaos he'd known at home. From the curb, the family looked like the definition of success. Inside, every day felt like a clock winding too tight. The 911 call began with Lyle's desperate cry and Eric outside.
Don't kill my parents.
Pardon me?
Don't kill my parents.
Were they shot?
Yes.
They were shot?
Yes.
Police entered a scene so violent some assumed mob involvement. The brothers recited their alibi: movie, festival, home before midnight. Lyle claimed he could smell gun smoke, a detail unlikely to linger.
They just knew that, okay, we got these rich kids, boom, shot their parents, now they think they're multimillionaires. Well, that's not the case.
Shock and setting persuaded police not to test for gunshot residue. Eric's acting background and Lyle's sudden hiring of bodyguards helped sell the idea of a lurking threat, but suspicion only paused. Months of calculated moves shielded them from scrutiny. Grief and performance were inseparable, with reality blurring into illusion. Protection, smoke, and story held together by nerves. In time, performance fell away and proof emerged. A year before the murders, Eric Menendez and Craig Signorelli wrote a screenplay about a rich teen who kills his parents for inheritance. Its opening mirrored the family's den. Later, Eric told Signorelli chilling details that matched what happened.
During your visit with Eric Menendez, did he ever talk about the
Yes.
Kitty helped type parts of the script, possibly transcribing a narrative close to her own fate. Hollywood drafts are usually fantasy, but this one became evidence, an early sign of motive and imagination. In hindsight, these pages appear as a practice run nobody took seriously. When the story went to trial, the lines were scrutinized for intent, turning a creative exercise into a map for real-life horror. Eric, already in court-ordered therapy with Dr. Jerome Oziel for theft, confessed to the murders during a session. Lyle found out and threatened Oziel, breaking therapist-patient confidentiality. Oziel's mistress, Judalyn Smith, revealed the existence of confession tapes to police.
Eric and I killed our parents together, so I'd say that makes us pretty close.
In March 1990, Lyle was arrested. Eric surrendered days later. Years of legal battles followed over whether tapes could be used at trial. California's High Court allowed 2 of 3 tapes into evidence. The brothers, who had evaded scrutiny with tears and timing, now found their private words exposed in court. Their secrets, once protected, became central to the prosecution's case. Instead of caution, the brothers drew attention with their spending. Insurance and family money fueled 6 months of excess. Hotel suites, condos, luxury cars, expensive watches, shopping sprees. Eric hired a top tennis coach. Lyle launched businesses, including a chicken restaurant and a failed concert venture.
Why did you guys go on that spending spree?
I had spent a huge amount of money before, as all the family members did. We didn't really think about money. It was a wealthy family that spent money on, a lot of things.
Their company, Menendez Investment Enterprises, existed mostly on paper. Nearly $1 million disappeared in months. Lyle later called it trauma spending, but investigators saw it as premeditated cover. To jurors, their lavish purchases fed suspicion, suggesting that grief and guilt could be measured in dollars as easily as emotion. In July 1993, Court TV took viewers inside the courtroom, making the Menendez trial must-see television. Though there were no celebrities, the family, lawyers, and witnesses brought drama. The trial introduced allegations of abuse, addiction, and neglect. Crucial facts remain disputed.
Whenever I felt, I took him out sometimes, and I took a toothbrush also, and I played with Eric in the same way.
Cameras caught every reaction, including the brothers' post-testimony high fives, interpreted as either relief or arrogance. The audience learned the rhythms of televised justice: testimony, reaction, recap. Before O.J. Simpson and true crime podcasts, the Menendez trial set the template, blending tragedy with suspense and transforming court cases into episodic entertainment. The initial trials ended in deadlock. Separate juries, separate outcomes. In 1995, the retrial had no cameras, less focus on abuse, and a jury tasked only with determining murder, not manslaughter. Attention shifted as the nation watched O.J. Simpson's trial. On March 20th, 1996, a verdict landed. Both brothers guilty of first-degree murder, spared the death penalty, but sentenced to life without parole. The case started with a question: were they monsters or desperate sons? Legally, the answer was clear. Culturally, debate continued. Appeals, documentaries, and fresh revelations kept the story alive, refusing closure. Just days before the murders, a family fight sent Kitty yanking off Lyle's toupee, a revelation that stunned everyone. Eric claimed it triggered confessions about alleged abuse and the confrontation that ultimately led to violence. The wig fooled most people. Lyle's baldness was a closely held secret. After his arrest, another embarrassment. A jailhouse scuffle sent the hairpiece flying, and jail rules allowed it only in court. Humiliation and shame became leverage, weaponized within the family's unraveling dynamic. In the end, even a false head of hair turned into evidence and catalyst. Prison changed their world, but didn't end it. Michael Franzese, ex-mafia boss, described their time behind bars: threats, talk of escape, and protests of innocence. Both brothers married while incarcerated, Lyle twice, Eric once, without conjugal visits. For decades, they communicated by mail, playing chess and sharing letters. In 2018, transfers reunited them at R.J. Donovan Prison in San Diego, and both reportedly broke down at their first meeting in 22 years. The verdict was final, but life continued, shifting from public spectacle to slow, personal evolution. Investigators linked the brothers to two 12-gauge shotguns using receipts, shell casings, and found shells. The brothers said they dumped the guns along Mulholland Drive, but all searches failed. For prosecutors, the missing weapons were a loose thread, but not a case breaker. For the public, the absence became a symbol, proof denied, an open space for rumor. These shotguns, never recovered, still incite speculation. Their absence sustains conspiracy theories and ensures uncertainty persists, nudging the Menendez case away from closure. Tennis shaped much of the brothers' childhood. Jose demanded they excel, bringing in resident coaches and competitive hitters. Eric soared to a national top 50 ranking as a teen. Lyle struggled under pressure and panicked at tournaments. That relentless drive bled into other life arenas. A screenplay about parricide before the murders, reckless spending after, and courtroom composure that sometimes felt chilling. Tennis became metaphor. Tight margins, nerves, building pressure. The Menendez saga was one too many pressured rallies, ending with a swing no one could take back. Years later, Eric reflected that early police pressure could have led to confession. In court, Lyle told Dr. Oziel he wouldn't have acted without Eric's agreement. Resentment and remorse intertwined. A 2024 documentary repeated Eric's claim that his shattered mind might have cracked under a tough interview. This alternate timeline lingers, a confession, a different sentence. Instead, months passed, stories hardened, and the case was primed for spectacle. Truth, if it wanted out, had to push through pride, fear, and strategy. The Menendez case refuses to fade. A Mark Jackson basketball card once showed the brothers courtside. Collectors drove up its value. By 1994, networks aired dramatizations the defense called biased. Recent Netflix series took provocative liberties. Eric, via his wife, publicly objected. Rosie O'Donnell advocated for a new look, meeting Lyle in 2023. By 2025, courts debated resentencing. Verdicts may stop legal punishment, but they don't freeze narrative. The Menendez story keeps evolving, across screens, in petitions, and memory, turning crime into a cultural echo. The Menendez case resists definition, a family saga, a tragedy of fear and money, a courtroom drama that won't stay put. Guns still missing, tapes preserved, a screenplay once written as foreshadow. Decades on, the brothers live out their sentences while new retellings, unanswered questions, and appeals circle the old Beverly Hills den. If you want more deep dives into cases that challenge headlines and dig into the hard edges, subscribe. We cover stories like this every week. After all you've learned, what detail, moment, or revelation changed how you see that living room, that night, and this ongoing story?